July 7th, 2023 Special Planning Commission meeting to order. Can you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Can we have a roll call, please? Thank you.
Commissioner Couture.
Present.
Commissioner Fa'apua.
She's excused.
Yes. Commissioner Norris.
Here.
Commissioner Peniza.
He's excused.
Commissioner Satori.
Okay, we have 3 members out of the 5, which is a quorum, so we're able to continue with our agenda and do our business. We don't have any minutes tonight. Yes, sir. Got it? Oh, that's the bottom.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Yes.
I have noticed several meetings that we don't have the minutes. Do you have a secretary, Mr. Acting Director? You have a secretary?
Yes.
Because we cannot just go on like this forever, wherein the previous minute is not available. So I urge and implore the Acting Director to see to it that to show his leadership that little things means a lot to us also.
The minutes will be prepared for the next meeting.
Yes, because this is not only the first time it happened. It keeps on happening. I don't know if you would like just to undermine this commission or I don't know. You have to show some leadership in this department. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And next month's meeting will have minutes. Okay. So that being the case, we're going to go to public hearings. But before we do that, I would like to tell you public participation can be submitted in 3 different ways. The first could be an email. You can send your comment directly to the Planning Commission, or you can submit it in writing via the city's website, or you can attend the meeting in person. If you're going to send your email comments, simply email the comments to the planner who's identified at the public hearing, or send them to the email for Mr. Van Longhuizen. Public comments may also be emailed, also including the Planning Commission public comment section in your subject line. Now, if you want to submit a comment via the website, then you would visit the dalycity.org agendas. To complete the public comment form, in the comment field box, include the item number and or title of the item that you would like to address. To speak at the meeting in person, please complete a speaker card located at the entrance to the council chamber and submit it to the staff member as early in the meeting as possible. All written communications received by 4 p.m. on the meeting day will be provided to the Planning Commission prior to the meeting. Comments are not read aloud into the record. Any written comment received after 4 p.m. on the meeting date are not guaranteed to be received by the Commission prior to the meeting. And any persons with disabilities who require auxiliary aids or services should call the office as soon as possible. So with that, we then will continue. And the first item that we have on the agenda is a zone change ZC 0626017088. It's amendment to Chapter 17.47, inclusory housing, to give preference to households that live or work in Daly City when selecting residents for income-restricted affordable housing units citywide.
Hey, yes, thank you, Chair Norris. This is a request by the City of Daly City, by the city staff,
Yes.
to amend the city's zoning ordinance. And for this reason, it needs to come before the Planning Commission before heading to the City Council to amend the city's inclusionary zoning law to allow the city to require that a certain percentage of the residents who occupy affordable housing units in new development projects live or work in Daly City. So this is basically a resident preference ordinance. And in support of this ordinance, this is actually being done throughout the county by several cities. And the City of Daly City staff also has joined in this effort. I don't know if I'd call it a countywide effort, but a number of cities are doing this. There was an analysis completed that was attached to the Planning Commission staff report
Yes.
called the Disparate Impact Analysis. Basically, that analysis was conducted again in conjunction with other cities in the county and is a requirement, I believe, of federal law or state law to make sure that the percentage of the units that the city is requiring does not negatively impact protected classes of citizens.
Yeah.
And so there's a detailed analysis of that. And essentially what the analysis concluded is that the City of Daly City could require that up to 70% of the affordable units that are required by the city's inclusionary zoning law be allocated to and give preference to the residents of Daly City or people who worked inside Daly City. And so that's essentially a summation of this ordinance. And the Planning Commission needs to make a recommendation on that. There's the exact text changes are included in the Planning Commission packet, and if there's anything that the Planning Commission would like to review with regard to that, the city staff's available to answer any of those questions. There's some details to it, and we can get into those if you'd like, but that's essentially what this request is.
Thank you. I understand it to be that. Do any commissioners have questions or comments? Commissioner Satori.
What is it? I didn't get it.
Oh, I was saying, do you have any comments or questions on this item?
I have a lot of questions, but let him go through.
I think you finished. Are you done?
Yes, that concludes the staff presentation.
Of course. How many percentage do you think we really need housing here, or the lack of it? Can you give us a ballpark figure?
Of how many households?
How many percentage of housing that we need here to stabilize housing needs here in Daly City?
The state of California determined the city needed to build 4,800 housing
Not just in the
units.
Bay Area.
Oh, in the Bay
especially
Area?
in the Daly
tens
City.
of thousands. In the entire Bay Area, tens of thousands. I don't know the exact number.
Have you heard about the so-called gentrification?
Yes, sir.
Are we affected by this
Gentrification?
gentrification, Daly City?
Certainly. The effects of gentrification affect Daly City.
By how many percentage do you think this will be impacted?
There's not been a quantification
Especially in the
of that,
Mission District.
right? There's no quantification or study of
No, there
how-
is. There is.
Okay.
About 18% in the Mission District. So I have more questions, but let the other, because
All right, then you can reserve your time to ask more questions. Commissioner Couture, do you have any questions or comments you'd like to ask at this time?
So the verbiage will show live or work?
Yes.
Live or work,
Yes.
okay.
In the draft of the Planning Commission, in the draft of the ordinance, there are some specific time periods that relate to the 24 months preceding. The city staff would like to have some durations that you've lived here a certain amount of time.
Right,
We'll probably amend that going to the city council to 6 months, and
6
we
months.
may not be able to allow it at all. There are strict federal regulations that relate to this, and we need to comply with, of course, federal law. So we do have that in there, and you may notice that, and just to point that out to you.
and there's a provision also, there's verbiage there that states, beyond the people who live and work in Daly City, the preference is for people who work in the school district.
Yes.
So is that the school district and then people who live and work in Daly City?
So it's a good question. It's our hope that they're one and the same, that we don't run into too much conflict, but the preference would be, in our opinion, the residents, and then and people who work, and then, if needed, school district.
Got it, thank you. That's all.
All right. I understand the concept here. I think it's a very good one. I think it's somewhere that we need to deal with down the line, and we are here now, and I think it's something that I would support. I don't have any other specific questions. So we're back to you, Commissioner. If you have some other specific questions you wanted to ask, the floor is yours.
No, I just waive my time later on.
Okay, well, right now, that is the presentation, and therefore, I don't think there's anything else to be presented. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, so the recommendation of the staff is to adopt the findings as outlined, and that would be finding that the proposed rezoning are exempt from the requirements of the CEQA pursuant to guidelines section 15061, review for exemption, and there is a recommendation that we recommend this to the City Council and approve zone change ZC 06260170A8, amending Chapter 17.47, inclusionary housing. Is there a motion to move that recommendation forward?
I motion to recommend the motion forward.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any further questions or comments on this before we call for the vote?
None for me.
All right. If there are no further questions or comments, then a roll call, please.
Commissioner Couture,
Yes.
Commissioner Nuris,
Aye, yes.
Commissioner Satori.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to the second item. That's the use permit UPR 0326017020 and design review DR 0326017021, restaurant drive-through, Point 3 Ceremony Center. Mr. Fielding, good evening.
Good evening, Chair Norris and Planning Commissioner members. The item before you this evening are the planning entitlements of a use permit and design review for a new restaurant with drive-through, Building A, located at 3 Sermonte in the northwest quadrant of the Sermonte Shopping Center. These are the requested planning entitlements. Use permit to allow restaurant with drive-through and design review for site plan, building design, and landscaping for restaurant with drive-through. Staff received public comment from 2 emails dated July 1st and July 5th from Melinda Hugh regarding traffic and bicycle and pedestrian safety improvements at the project site. The first email had requested a traffic study, and the second email requested the traffic study and a look at examining bicycle and pedestrian improvements.
Let me just also state that we did receive those. Thank you. Staff forwarded them to us, so we have considered them. Go ahead.
Okay. The project site is located in the northwest quadrant of the Sermonte Shopping Center, as shown in this slide. These are the existing site photos.
What are we looking at exactly here?
The top left slide is the mall entry and
From where?
looking south. And then the second one is the mall entry, also looking south. Then the mall entry looking north is the, oops, sorry, go back there.
Yeah.
The third photo is looking north from the mall entry. And then the fourth one is the mall entry looking south. The lower left is looking west. And then the site looking north. And then from the retail site looking south. And then the retail parking looking south. project site is located under the general plan designation Commercial Retail and Office and zoned Plan Development 69. The surrounding uses include commercial to the north, Callan Boulevard, Highway 1, and a mix of single-family and multifamily residential to the west, Interstate 280 to the east, and Serramonte Shopping Center and commercial uses to the south. The applicant and property owner, Regency Centers, proposed to construct an approximately 5,250 square foot restaurant, Building A, with drive-through on a vacant lot with parking lot located at the northwest quadrant of Serramonte Shopping Center. The applicant has requested approval also for an option to have a retail center with a loading dock use at this site. The project is part of a 3-building project that includes a retail building with corner restaurants and another restaurant with drive-through and a parking lot, pedestrian improvements, and landscaping. This slide tells a little bit about project detail. Again, it's a 5,250 square foot restaurant with drive-through. The design is a contemporary design with a mixture of materials, colors, and architectural elements. The restaurant will have an outdoor front patio
This is only given.
and a drive-through lane for 11-car queue.
To discuss this. They should give us at least.
The restaurant also has trash enclosure.
I got it early. Didn't get it in the email.
This one?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
The parking,
Get it?
traffic circulation, and pedestrian safety
I don't think so.
details include a required parking of 21 parking spaces for the restaurant.
I get the email also, but that.
And then the proposed parking
Complete.
would include 81 out of 211 parking spaces, with 11 accessible spaces dedicated to buildings A, B, and C. The applicant would submit a traffic study to evaluate impacts of traffic circulation and pedestrian safety, and this would be a condition of approval. And the project includes landscaping, trees for the entry drive, parking lot, and pedestrian areas, shrubs, and ground cover plants. This is the site plan with the location of Building A for the first drive-through, restaurant with drive-through. And the second building is the retail building, which will also have 2 restaurants on either end. Whoops.
That's building B, right? Yes.
Yes, that's the Building B. And then the second restaurant drive-through is Building C on the far side. So this slide talks a little bit about the traffic circulation, the required parking that was mentioned previously. And this is 81 parking spaces dedicated to buildings A, B, and C. Sorry, I'm not sure why the slide thing keeps advancing like that. What? Yeah, let's just use that. So, yeah, the drive-through A provides a single lane for 11-car queue, and drive-through. I'm gonna go back. I'm not sure what I did there. Okay, so all right, there you go. So, and as was mentioned before, the traffic circulation, there will be a condition of approval to provide a traffic study to evaluate impacts of the traffic circulation, pedestrian safety, and recommended improvement measures. There's an existing all-way stop at Southgate Avenue entrance to the Serramonte, and staff is considering evaluating an all-way stop at Callan Boulevard intersection, entrance to Ceremony Center. And the traffic study will also look at pedestrian and bicycle improvements and recommendations there. This chart shows the table of the required parking and the proposed, and staff has broken it out so that you can see the required parking for each building. So Building A requires 21 spaces, Building B is 48 spaces, and Building C is 11, or 48.4, 11.2. So that totals up your 81. That's where the parking requirement comes in. No, sorry. Sorry about that. Go back to. So these are some of the traffic improvements that are existing. And also one of the improvements that'll be included as part of the project is to put the sidewalk back on the entryway off of Callan. And that's located by where the green circle is, that narrow strip there. Currently, the sidewalk isn't there. There's barricades there, and it's sort of under construction. But that's going to be installed, so there will be like pedestrian connectivity to the plaza area. This is the floor plan of the proposed restaurant. These are the elevations, the west and east elevation. This is the north and south elevations. This is the exterior material and colors. Looking at on the left are the paint colors. So the paint colors are a mixture of sort of charcoal and gray colors. And then in contrast with the other restaurant site, those are going to be tan, more of a tan color. There's a variety of materials. So there's a blue steel stone that's going to be like a base band around the restaurant. And then there's some painted metal materials at the entryway, and also wood siding that's part of the material for the restaurant. This slide shows the landscape areas for the project. And the restaurant drive-through is located in the parking lot 10A, which will include landscaping with trees for the entry drive, parking lot, and pedestrian areas. The proposed trees include ginkgo biloba, golden rain tree, autumn blaze, maple, elegant water gum, coast live oak, and sawleaf selvkova, bohol maple, and strawberry tree. There's also a variety of shrubs, perennials, and ground cover plants that are included in the landscaping. And this shows the landscaping plant palette.
Is the landscaping consistent with other areas in the shopping center?
That's a good question. I would probably defer to the applicant if they want to speak to that. I was just going to mention, I want to go back to this slide also, that this slide is a good representation of the pedestrian access routes within this area of the project. There's going to be sidewalks along the perimeter of the area, as well as 2 pedestrian entrance stairway connections from Callan Boulevard. And there's also a pedestrian, let me go back to that, access right here. There's a pedestrian walkway along here, and then connecting to all 3 of the buildings. Yep. Move on here. This is an overall view rendering.
Right there where there's a gap, is that where you come down from Callan Boulevard?
Yes. Yep.
Keep going to the left.
right here, or the left.
Yeah, right.
That's
You're
right,
right there,
between the
yeah.
two buildings. Yep.
Got it.
And then to the left of it is the parking structure, right?
That's right. Further south. Yeah, these are the rendering views looking north from the drive-through and looking south from the drive-through. This is the trash enclosure plans. These are the use permit findings that the Planning Commission needs to make. Basically, finding that the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the proposed use will not, under the circumstances of the particular case, be detrimental to the health, safety, morals, comfort, and general welfare of the persons residing or working in the neighborhood. Planning staff completed a review of the proposed restaurant with the drive-through and determined that the project meets the findings for a use permit. And these are the design review findings, highlighted in bold and underlined as the findings that you would need to make for design review. And staff completed a design review of a site plan, building design, materials and colors, and landscape plan for the restaurant with drive-through, and has determined that the project meets the findings for design review approval. Planning staff completed CEQA environmental review for the proposed project and determined that the project is categorically exempt per CEQA guidelines section 15332 for an infill development project on a vacant lot that meets the conditions for a class 32 project. At this time, staff recommends the Planning Commission take the following action and recommend the City Council approval of a use permit and design review for the construction of a restaurant with drive-through, Building A, on the northwest quadrant of the Ceremony Shopping Center plan development. This concludes staff's presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have about the project. And we also have the project applicants, Kurt Utterback and Patrick Conway from Regency Center, and Jan Taylor from Field Paoli Architects.
Okay. Kurt, you've indicated you want to speak on item 3. This is item 2.
I was supposed to be item 2. But
Oh,
it's okay
fine, no problem.
beforehand, But it's
I
fine.
thought you might want to speak.
I mean, whichever one it is.
It doesn't make any difference. Can you leave that screen back up, please?
Oh, sure.
The one that has the recommendation.
Oh, I can get it back up there.
It's the second to last. Anyway, let me call on you at this particular time. And if you would just identify yourself and who you represent, and then we're happy to hear from you.
Terrific, thank you. Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Kurt Utterback. I serve as the Market Officer for Regency Centers, overseeing Ceremony Center. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening in support of the proposed retail development you just reviewed. Regency Centers has been proud to own and operate Ceremony Center, and since acquiring the property, we have made long-term commitment to reinvesting one of Daly City's most important community and commercial destinations. That commitment has included an interior renovation, modernizing the shopping experience with new flooring, upgraded lighting, enhanced common areas, renovated restrooms, and improvement to the mall entrances. We have also expanded and diversified the property's offerings to better serve the community. This includes the addition of Starbucks and Chick-fil-A on the northeast side of the center, the transformation of the former J.C. Penney space, into Jugalchi Market, a 75,000 square foot Korean culinary destination, and the continued development of the property with the new restaurant district you probably heard of, and hopefully you have, of Koi Palace, Cheesecake Factory recently signed, Marugami Udon, Fogo de Chao, and Haidi Lao. These investments reflect our belief that Ceremony should continue to evolve alongside the needs and diversity of Daly City's residents. The project before you tonight represents the next step in that evolution. It is designed to enhance the customer experience, strengthen Ceremony's role as a regional destination, and provide new retail and dining opportunities that will generate economic activity, jobs, and additional amenities for the community. Most importantly, it aligns with Regency's long-term vision of maintaining Serramonte as a vibrant gathering place that reflects the character and needs of Daly City. We appreciate the Commission's careful consideration of this application and are committed to working collaboratively with the city staff and the community. We respectfully ask for your support and approval on the project. Thank you for your time. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. So staff, you've made your presentation. Just very quickly, let me go back to the fact that we did receive communication from someone earlier on the issue of the drive-through. And I guess really, I've heard in your presentation that you feel that those concerns have been adequately addressed and really are not something that you feel at this point would slow things down. We're addressing those needs within the presentation and within I just want to get your take on that.
Yes, so staff determined that it was exempt under CEQA, under Class 32, and that does not require a traffic study if you made that
Yes.
determination that it's exempt. Nevertheless, we are requesting as a condition of approval that the applicant reevaluate the traffic study, because there have been extensive traffic studies done at the project site, just to look at any potential traffic impacts that are there, and then any improvement measures that can be made. Previously, this site was proposed to have a hotel, and the traffic analysis evaluated the site for a hotel, which had significantly more. It had more traffic impacts. So the two restaurants with drive-throughs will have less of an impact, and staff determined that along with consulting with our public works, that there would not be a significant traffic impact as a result of these projects.
Thank you. That's what I kind of wanted to hear. Commissioners, do you have questions or comments at this point regarding the presentation, or any questions you'd like to ask of the proponent?
Yes, so this, Chair, this addresses, the traffic question from, the letter that we received this morning, but I don't see anything about bicycle parking or lanes on this study.
Yes, well, the adjacent streets have shared bicycle lanes, or Class 3 bicycle lanes on Callan and on the, was it Serramonte? On the
Southgate?
Or Southgate, yeah, Southgate on the north side. So those are designated Class 3 shared bicycle lanes. The study that we're requesting of the applicant would include looking at pedestrian and bicycle improvements. So we anticipate out of that study that there may be some recommendations on improvements that could be done to address bicycle access and pedestrian safety.
So I know there's parking, number of parking requirements, but are there also requirements for disabled parking? Yes,
Yes.
thank you. That's all for now.
There are also specific requirements for the number of bicycles parking spaces.
Okay.
The city a while back adopted the Green Building Code,
Yeah.
and that dictates the amount of bicycle parking and the type of facilities, bicycle storage lockers if needed. Sometimes the code does require that. I was only going to add on to Sam's answer about the traffic situation.
Yes.
The Class 32 exemption pertains to situations like this where it's infill development. The city would have had to have made a determination that there was a significant traffic impact to catapult this out of categorical exemption and into something else. Beginning in 2015, when the mall was undergoing extensive renovation, there was a traffic study completed at that time. And the city identified the need for two traffic signals, one at Callan and Serramonte Boulevard, and the other at Southgate and Callan. And both of those traffic studies have been installed. And both of those have been installed with financial contributions from the shopping center, as well as the city paid at large, as well as other developers in the area. So the level of service at those intersections has actually improved since then. In consultation with the city engineer, the city staff in processing these permits before you tonight, determined that the level of service of those intersections would not be impacted by the addition of the addition or the difference rather of traffic associated with this project versus the previous hotel proposal. So that's just one important thing to note. Also, we have a separate presentation, and we can give it at the end of these two items to you on pedestrian improvements in Serramonte Shopping Center, because it's something that the Planning Commission should be aware of. The city staff has worked with the mall ownership over the past couple of years to identify areas for pedestrian improvements, and we would like to share some of those with you. But maybe it's appropriate to get through the use permits, and then we can give you that separate presentation. It'll only take 5 minutes.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for adding that. Commissioner Satori, any questions? or
Yeah,
comments?
Your Honor, I am really very gratified to see that this project, it will actually spur economic and social development in the city. I am really, I would say, proud of this kind of development. We should, because this is what we need really in the city. I love traffic, especially in that area, because it means the economic activity is going strong. When we have traffic there, I can sense that a lot of people are coming in. A lot of people coming from East Bay, like I heard it, but from Vallejo, from Tracy, they come here to Daly City, because Daly City is not just a social hub economic, but a conglomeration also of different kinds of people, like the Pilam, Chinese, Japanese. So I'm glad that this kind of project is being pushed through, and it's been a long time, really, especially the hotel that we are expecting. And hopefully that we as a citizen here, we can help you also in so many ways. We are absolutely ecstatic about this kind of development, and hopefully that we can fast track this kind of construction development, so without the hindrance coming from anybody. I for one, and my family is going to support this kind of project. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner. And, you've been on the commission for a long time. You've seen so many. So your acknowledgement of this and support of this, I think, carries even more weight. Thank you so much.
I have been supportive of this kind of project since the time of when they, especially, I know they had, the original plan was with us during the time of, was this, Tony Sedic, you remember that? That we have this kind of project, the entire, in fact, I was still a member, became a member here when there is a bank that should be destroyed and put up another building around the building. So there is really a plan now in this Serramonte, and hopefully it's coming through now. Hopefully it will be fast track in kind. So especially if the hotel comes in, then that's it. So
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other comments from the commissioners? Anything else from developers or staff? All right, if there isn't, then my understanding is that the staff recommends the adoption of the findings that, as they've been outlined, to affirm the project as categorically exempt per section 152332 of the CEQA, and recommend to the City Council the approval of use permit UPR 0326017020 and design review DR 0326017021, subject to the conditions of approval outlined herein. And I believe that's the recommendation. Is there a motion to move the recommendation?
I so move.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Couture,
Yes.
Chair Norris,
Aye, yes.
Commissioner Satori.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the next item, which is use permit UPR 0326-017022 and design review DR 0326-017026, restaurant drive-through 3 Ceremony Center. Sam, back to you.
Okay, good evening, Chair and Planning Commissioners. I'm going to go through this presentation fairly quickly because it's very similar to the
Yes.
first one. So I'm just going to go through, we're going to go to the design review, just so you can look at the, proposed elevations. This building is a little bit smaller. It's a 2,800 square foot restaurant with drive-through. And this will be have a 12-car queue. So that's the one difference there instead of 11-car. And it's located here at the site plan, located on Building C. This is the floor plan. This is the elevation. So the finish schedule here is a little bit lighter tone colors, tan colors with wood cladding and the blue stone base there. And then some metal gray charcoal color entryway canopies. So this is the east and west elevation. Then we have the north and south elevation. The exterior material and colors. And landscape plan, the same in both projects. These are the renderings. And the trash enclosure plans. The use permit findings that you would need to make. And then the design review findings. Again, staff determined that this was categorically exempt per SEQA, class 32 for infill development. And staff is recommending the Planning Commission take the following action. Recommend City Council approval of a use permit and design review for the construction of a restaurant with drive-through, Building C, on the northwest quadrant of the Ceremony Shopping Center plan development.
All right. We've heard from you, Kurt. Are we good? Come on up.
Do you mind, Sam, going to the overview of the layout of the GLA property?
The site plan?
Yeah, keep going. Chair and Commission, given the configuration of the space, and we're actually going less gross leased area than before that was proposed with the hotel and the other building that we had there before, and given what we've talked about tonight on mitigating circumstances and mitigating other things, can we pull the requirement for a traffic study, especially with the placement of where those drive-throughs are? They're pushed back into the project a little more. They're really not affecting Southgate or Callan, and we've already kind of done a study. Do you really feel that is necessary? Can we pull that as a requirement moving forward as part of the approval?
I would like to hear from staff on that because really there are professionals and they would be able to recommend what they feel would be appropriate under the circumstances.
Well, first, the previous use permit that the Planning Commission recommended to the City Council just 10 minutes ago did not have the removal of that item. So the study would be moving
include it
forward to
in
the
that
City Council
study.
with that anyway. And secondly, it's the Public Works Department that does require that. And the applicant can, at this, there'll be a hearing on this item on July 27th, Monday night, City Council meeting in July. And the city's traffic engineer will be there, and there can be a good discussion of that at that time. It's our feeling that we'd probably continue to move forward with it anyway. There's a potential for the addition of a stop sign at the Callan exit from the shopping center, and the traffic study would be able to evaluate that. We don't feel that the study itself would hinder any sort of building permits or anything like that. We're somewhat familiar with the construction schedule for this project, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that that schedule keeps on track.
So I think you're saying we should keep it where it is, defer it to the next meeting, where others who will be able to chime in on it better can add their take on it. And of course, you'll have an opportunity to address the issue at that point as well. So I think that's probably the way we're going to go.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Commission.
Any other questions on this particular item? It's pretty much the same as the last one. Yes, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, I remember not too long ago, same problem was raised up by Colma, because sometimes, especially during heavy traffic, there is a clog of vehicle coming from the other side, Seramonte going here. That's why we have this kind of traffic management now inside. This is not the option of why there was a complaint before about this, because sometimes there is an overflow going inside here from 280 and going out also. Especially, but to me, to us, that's good, because there are a lot of people coming in who wants to come in here. So they should adjust, because some people will just insist going into the same route. They have to be routed down Kalan, somewhere there, because there are times that Saramonte is really fully loaded, fully booked. A lot of vehicles coming in. They want to go in. So that is why there is we have a lot of parking space there. It's a matter of directing them where to go. That was the option of the parking space. A lot of things are vacancies upstairs, if people just think about it. So I don't think parking or traffic is an issue here. It will never be an issue, because this has already been there addressed with the new parking building there. So that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Couture.
No comments this time.
All right, I think really everything was addressed in our first go-around. This is really kind of like piggybacked onto it. And so, again, then, the recommendation is to adopt the findings as outlined, affirm that the project as categorically exempt per Section 152.332 of the CEQA, and recommend to the City Council the approval of use permit UPR 0326017022 and design review DR 0326017023, subject to the conditions of the approval. That is the recommendation. Is there a motion in favor of that recommendation?
Before we question the privilege, Mr. Chair, I just would like to make a comment.
Well, we can make the motion and then you can speak to it. How's that?
I so move.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's been moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yeah.
All right, now comments.
You know, parking will always be a problem there, especially during sale or Saturdays, Friday, because I live nearby. So the only suggestion that we can make to the people around here is probably make a traffic enforcer there during rush hour, like Saturday and Sunday. These 2 days, Friday, or during sale. If you can probably hire somebody there who can just direct the flow of traffic there, because sometimes there is a traffic really.
Something to consider.
Sometimes, but not all the time. If you can hire somebody there just to direct the traffic going inside the parking space there. Because some people doesn't know it, especially coming from the East Bay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other comments on this item? None. Anything from staff? Gentlemen, anything further? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Couture,
Yes.
Chair Nurse,
Aye.
Commissioner Satori.
Yes.
All right, the recommendation is carried. Thank you very much for your presentations tonight. We look forward to seeing your program.
When is this going to the city council?
July 27th.
Where?
July 27th.
Okay, so from the people there, so you can.
Good luck. Thank you. Thank you. So what do you have to share with us tonight?
So we're gonna make this presentation under staff communications.
Thank you.
Let me just get this set up real quick.
Ceremony Shopping Center pedestrian improvements. Okay.
Yes, so this is not an agendized item, so to speak, but we did want to communicate because of the emails that were supplied by a resident of the city that seemed to imply that the city hasn't considered pedestrian
Right.
access or
Is this
safety.
regarding Melinda Hugo?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
In the shopping center. And we think it's only fair to the public and to the mall ownership that we share what we worked with, because there's been a lot of work that's actually not just improving tenant space and retail spaces at the center, but there's been quite a bit of work that's going into improving pedestrian access. And these sorts of things take a while, and they're undergoing a plan check right now, so they will be installed along with some of the improvements we talked about as part of the last two applications considered tonight. So with regard to that, just a recap of what the applicant has proposed as part of the two drive-throughs. This is standing at the entrance from Callan, looking east toward the shopping center. And as Sam mentioned, there is a sidewalk here that I believe was existing and was removed, so that will be reinstalled as a part of the drive-throughs. And why it's important, and it's too bad we don't have Google Street View, and we can get it out if you'd like, but a lot of the people that live in the area that's west of the shopping center tend to walk along this sidewalk, and it's really important that it be replaced, and that's going to happen as part of this project. As Sam also pointed out, there are two staircases that the applicant has proposed that come down from the easterly Callan sidewalk. And one of the things that we should point out is that these staircases have to be plan checked, and we have to make sure that they're ADA compliant. And the planning staff has discussed with the building division staff about how to, ideally make both of them work, but if not, at least the one that is here, because as Sam pointed out to you, in between the two buildings, there is a paseo that connects, and it's unfortunate we cut this site plan off, but it connects for people walking. So over here, crossing Callan and walking down into the shopping center, they're very easily able to access this area, these retail stores, as well as to cross the driveway that comes off of Southgate and go to Starbucks, for example, or go to Macy's. And so this is something that's also, again, it's a very small thing on the plan, but a big thing for pedestrian improvements in the area. In front of the new retail stores that are under construction in the northeast quadrant of the shopping center. So as you probably know, Koi Palace is moving from its current location to Ceremony Shopping Center. Mm-hmm. And there is that is under construction. You'll notice that right next to Jagulchi, as well as there are two retail pads that are under construction. And as part of, and that's Marigami and Fogo de Chao. Those are the two retail pads that are under construction, as well as Cheesecake Factory is going to be where Buffalo Wild Wings was. And there's some other smaller tenant improvements in that area, restaurant, food type uses. So along with all of that, the applicant and the city have worked together to improve crosswalks in that area. And this is probably, this is a list of them, but as you can see, there's 5 of them, and there's also ADA improvements associated with each. And this, we don't have great, well, we have renderings, but no pretty picture of it. But here is a street view of that area. And this will be all improved with better pedestrian, basically crossings of this area to make it safe for pedestrians to cross from the parking fields and into the shopping center.
Isn't that where that construction's being done right now?
Yes.
Where that brown patch is?
Yes, exactly. There are 2 buildings currently under construction right
Which
here.
ones are those for?
This is Miragami
Oh, yeah.
and Fugo de Chao.
Okay, yeah.
And there's another one under construction here. And then Buffalo Wild Wings, well, you can see it better in this one. That's gone away, closed, and Cheesecake Factory will be going into that location. So there's a lot of vehicular and pedestrian traffic that does not exist in the shopping center right now that is coming to this area. And the mall ownership and the city staff have worked very closely together to make sure that traffic flow is important for sure, but pedestrian access, safe pedestrian access from the parking fields and into these, into the retail shopping center as well as into the new restaurants is achieved.
When is the restaurant going to be open, that one?
Which one is it?
Before the end of the year.
Before the end of the year.
Because it's almost finished.
Yes, the building here is undergoing tenant improvement right now, so they're working on the inside. The outside's largely complete.
Oh, you're talking about the Cheesecake Factory?
Yes, yeah, these are old photos, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
No, not Cheesecake. Cheesecake Factory will be under tenant improvement fairly soon.
Yeah, well, the buildings there, yeah.
Yeah, so this is what we call building 710 and 720, and I believe that's Fogo. Maybe they have them switched, but this. Yeah, so this one, they're working on the inside of the building right now. They're completing the tenant improvement, and everybody likes to open by the holidays, and so that's all, the goal.
Sure.
So moving on to another part of the shopping center, and this is the area that, and again, apologize for the photos here, but this is essentially in front of the,
Dave and Buster's.
in front of Dave and Buster's. And one of the things that we should point out to you is that the city staff walked the whole mall about 18 months ago, maybe, I think it was about that long ago, with the mall ownership and identified areas for pedestrian improvements. And our recommendations and that turned into requirements, and the mall has been very gracious and allocated budget toward making some of our discussions happen. But one of the things, based on public input also, and we chose this photo on purpose, it was very important to us because right now people tend to walk in the drive aisle leading from, I don't know how best to describe this, the drive aisle that comes from Ross to the
Yes.
Dave and Buster's. And you can see pedestrians here. They use, this is sort of a pedestrian access way, but when they arrive at this location, they have to go around
Yes.
this bulb.
That
and
fence.
it's
Oh, yeah, I've done it many times myself, yeah.
yes, so it's not ideal, and especially in the dark. And so we talked to the mall ownership about completing a pedestrian improvement, and it's shown in plan here, where there's essentially a landing for people to step onto. Those 2 pedestrians in the previous photo are approximately where the mouse pointer is here. They'll be able to step onto a landing and cross this driveway, which can actually be quite busy.
With the bus stop.
Yes, the bus stop's to the bottom of the screen, but yes, more easily. So we'll essentially end up with 2 crosswalks here, but pedestrian access, again, greatly facilitated. So we did want to point that out to you.
There's a lot of delivery cars who park on a no parking lane.
Yeah.
The Uber pickups, the Door Dashes, they park there and congested
Right.
along that.
A second area for improvement, well, not in a second, but a third or fourth actually, for improvement was the area in front of Crunch Fitness. So there's a parking structure here, and Crunch Fitness is here, and there's a crosswalk right here, right now. But in a visual analysis, if you will, of pedestrian flow in this area, we noticed that because
The stairs.
the stairs leading from the upper levels of the parking garage basically land here, and there's no safe way to cross this driveway here. I mean, most people do it. It's not unsafe, but it's not ideal. And so what we've talked about is with the shopping center and will be installed is a pedestrian enhancement where there'll be a crosswalk basically located here. So this is looking easterly from in front of Crunch Fitness.
Very good, yeah.
And here the plan is, or here the improvement is in plan view. So there's a pedestrian crossing that will occur there with the landing installed also. So that is something that the city staff and the ownership of the mall had identified as a pedestrian improvement. This area will also be improved, resurfaced with these parking stalls, and I believe this ramp is going to be repaired. It had some issues with some of the surface of it needs to be replaced, and that's going to happen. So, yeah, so we just wanted to take the opportunity to show you some of the improvements that are happening in the center. And there may be other ones that are needed. It's pedestrian travel between the satellite retail, for example, on the easterly side where Party City is, to the main center is,
Yes.
sort of an ongoing, issue. We do feel that what's there now, because there is sidewalk that essentially connects them, is good for now, but we'll continue to monitor that situation as well. So that concludes our presentation, and if there's any questions that you have, we just wanted to let you know that we have been working on that. Yeah.
Great, well, thank you very much. We appreciate the fact that, I mean, a lot of stuff goes on, we just don't see it.
Right.
And so I think we would encourage you at whatever times you would like to make a little spot presentation to us of stuff that's going on, even though it's not something that's agendized. It helps us also understand the kind of stuff you're doing as well, and it shares it with the public. So that was great. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, looking to our agenda, I don't believe that there is anything further. There aren't any public appearances or staff communications. So if there isn't anything further, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Thank you. Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we stand in adjournment. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
your presentations tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, staff.